Welcome to Code Essentials. This is the first video on this channel about the basics of JavaScript. This series we are going to learn about the basics of JavaScript, and maybe in the future we can also talk about the advanced or intermediate topics in JavaScript. So if you want to develop more web applications, you need to have knowledge in JavaScript. Basically, you need to also know the HTML, CSS, and then JavaScript to build dynamic web applications. So the first thing is you need to know JavaScript. And here I'm on the developer.mozilla.org. You can search in your search engine. Then here is a high-level definition of JavaScript. So JavaScript is a programming language that allows us to implement complex features on web pages. For example, every time a web page does more than just sit there and display static information. And so you need to have things like interactive maps, animated 2D and 3D graphics, scrolling videos, buttons, and many others. So you need JavaScript. Otherwise, still you can build a web page with just basic HTML and CSS. HTML is a markup language that we use to structure and give meaning to our web page. Things like paragraphs, headings, tables, images, videos, and many more. Then after that, you also need to style your web page. So you need cascading style sheet, and this is CSS, which is a language to style the page or the content that you just wrote in HTML. After that, if you need dynamic web pages, updating content, control media, images, and many things, so you need JavaScript. So in this series we are going to learn about JavaScript, starting with the basics of JavaScript. Then we move on to variables, data types, alert, type conversion, basic operators, comparisons, conditional statements, logical operators, loops, and we also do functions and then arrow functions. So without wasting much time, let's just get started. The first thing you need to do is to install Node.js. So Node is a runtime environment that allows users to execute JavaScript code. So you also need to install Node.js before you can run or execute any JS code. So head over to nodejs.org. Under the downloads, you can find the different installation for different platforms. So here you can see we have Windows installer, Mac OS. Also, I think we have also the Linux. So here you can download the Windows installer because I'm using Windows, so you can download Mac, the latest version. Then another thing I want you to install is the Visual Studio Code. There we have different code editors that you can use. We have Sublime Text, we have PyCharm, we have the JetBrains and the IntelliJ. You can use others. You can use Notepad if you like. But for me, I'll be going with Visual Studio Code. So head over to Visual Studio Code or code.visualstudio.com. Then you can download the version for your operating system. So we have the Windows download, we have the Mac, and we have the Linux. So you can download the software that fits your operating system. After that, I'm going to launch my VS Code. So here you can see I am on the Visual Studio Code. I already created the folder named JS Basics. You can create the folder you want and then drag and drop inside the Visual Studio Code. So here, this is where we are going to write our JavaScript code. The first thing you need to do after the folder, you need to create a new file. So you can create on this icon, or when you hover over it, you can see it says new file. Then you have the new folder, and also the refresh explorer, or again you can also collapse or expand the explorer. So here, click on the first one. Then you can, I'm going to name this as variables because we are going to start with variables. So I can say variables.js. That is it. So this is where we are going to write our JavaScript code for variables. So before you get started, you need to understand variables as stores that are used to keep our names or our information in JavaScript. So there are different ways you can declare the variables in JavaScript. So we have the let keyword, we have the var, and also we have const keywords. For now, we shall start with the let keyword. So to declare a variable, you have to say let, then the variable name. So we can say user, then you say equal to, and because we want to start with strings, those are data types in JavaScript. So you can say let user equal to, then you can give the name of a person. So say let user equal to, then here you can say Jim, then you can close with the semicolon. So that is how you can name the variables. So here to call the variable, you can say console.log, so you can say console.log, then you say user, like that. Then here to run your code, head over to view, then terminal, then you can open up your terminal in Visual Studio Code. So to run this, you have to type in node, then you type in the name of your file, so variables.js. Now you can see down here I'm getting an error that says throw error, cannot find module in JS Basics variable.js. So here you can see my variable name is variables.js, but here I'm calling variable.js. So what I need to do is say node variables.js. If I click on enter, then I can see the user here. So if you want to print something on the console, then you have to use console.log, then the variable name that you just declared above. So here you can see the name of the user. Another thing is that you can declare multiple variables in one line. So here you can say I can comment this. So down here I can say let user equal to John, then age equal to 20, and then say message equal to hello world, like that. So if I come down here and say console.log and say user message and age, I come down here and again say node variables.js, click on enter, then I can see my message down there. So we have John, age is 20, and the message is hello world. So there are many ways you can declare variables. So the first one is you can declare single, you can declare multiple variables in one line, but it is good that you declare them on different lines. So we can have a let message as hello world, and then you can say let age equal to, let's say, 23, and also we can say let name be equal to Maxwell, like that. So here I can comment out this. So it is advisable that you use you either use this one, or you have to declare every variable name on its line for readability. So this is just the basics of JavaScript. We have just started with variables. In the next video, I'll be showing you data types and many other videos on the basics of JavaScript. So make sure you subscribe to Code Essentials so that you don't miss out the coming videos. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.